Hey guys, it's time to review the brand new Sigma 35mm f1.4 version 2 art series, and I'm very eager to see what improvements we have over the older version because it really did need some improvement. You know, 35mm lenses, the world just loves these things, right? I mean, they're fantastic for documentary work, street photography. They just capture more of the story, but still keep that very natural perspective. Now, I was gonna talk about how I really don't like this focal length myself personally, but you know what? I'm getting a lot of hate online. People are saying, Chris, honestly, I'm sick of hearing how you don't like 35mm. They're great lenses and everybody loves them. So you know what? I'm super excited to play with this. I'm Chris Niccolls, and look, this is PetaPixel. B&H is a wonderful place to get pretty much anything you can think of when it comes to photographic gear, videographic gear, and professional audio equipment. They've got a huge store with tons of stock, and right now there's a really great way to buy stuff at B&H. Just get one of their Payboo credit cards because this gives you two big advantages. So first, you can buy all of your gear and save the sales tax. B&H will refund the sales tax back to you when you make your purchases. To check your eligibility for Save the Tax benefits, visit bhphoto.com/Payboo, or you have another option. You can finance expensive purchases over 6 months or a year using your B&H Payboo credit card, and this just makes it a little bit easier to spread those costs over a longer period of time. But as always, remember that this is a credit card, so you want to use it responsibly, and you do have to get approved for this card. So to learn more, go to bhphoto.com/Payboo. So look into getting your own B&H Payboo credit card today. It is provided to you by Comenity Capital Bank. We actually have a really nice day to shoot today, but if you were watching the show recently, we've been traveling a lot. I've been doing product reviews from New York City, Chongqing, China, Chengdu, San Francisco. I mean, all these amazing locations. But no, like now we're back in downtown Calgary, my favorite location. I know it's your favorite location too, but you know what? It's gonna be a good day because we're reviewing a lens that I am really excited to see the results of because, you know, Sigma have this illustrious history of making these art series fast prime lenses since the good old DSLR days. Those lenses were sharp, I mean, better than anything we really seen at the time, but they were bulky and oversized, and that kind of continued into the mirrorless world. The first version of this art series lens for the mirrorless camera mounts, the Bokeh was okay. It was pretty sharp, but it had some major LoCA problems, flare issues, slow focusing, and a lot of things that were left to be desired. So I'm really wanting to get in and see if this improves a lot of those things. But before we get into that, let's get into the handling. So in the press briefing, Sigma was really emphasizing the smaller size and weight of this lens. But to be fair, I didn't really find the first version that much bigger physically. They both still share a 67mm filter diameter on the front. They both have 15 elements. Now this now in 12 groups instead of 11, but I mean, basically similar size of glass. They did manage to get the weight down on this lens though. This is down to 530 grams, and that's always nice. Having less weight is a good thing. This is still built to the same degree of build quality that all art lenses are. So this is rugged. I like the metal construction. It's weather sealed. At the front here, we've got a now nice hood with a push button locking mechanism. I mean, that's always nice. Very smooth manual focus ring. Sigma do a great job of this. And I do like that I get customizable buttons, a clicking option to turn the aperture into smooth functionality or back to click stops. I like that I can also lock it into the auto aperture mode as well. And I can even control the autofocus and manual focus switch. Now, while we're still on the topic of the construction of this lens, I do want to mention something that's really nice with an update here, and that is to the autofocusing motors. So the original lens did use older stepping motors, which is to be expected given the time of its release, but the latest 35mm f1.2 had dual high-speed linear actuators, and we expected to see it here, and we do get it here as well. And we now get the exact same autofocusing setup here in this lens, so dual high-speed linear actuators, just driving the lens elements really quick, really fast. It's nice to see that there for sports, action, street photography, you're gonna have that quick and silent focusing. So as you can see behind me, we have this really bright sunny day, which is great for flare tests. And I really want to see how the Sigma 35mm f1.4 version 2's coatings handle everything. But I mean, I'm probably all backlit to hell, aren't I, Jordan? Can we do something about that?
I got your back.
Oh, that looks better, hey? There we go. A little bit of warmth in there too. All right, so here we've got a much better setup. You know, we often talk about reflectors, bringing them out and bouncing light, but what's really nice about this L60B from Westcott is, as you can see with this optional battery pack handle, it runs off L-mount batteries, so it's totally portable, no wires or cables to worry about, but it also gives up to 60 watts of power, and you can modify it, and Jordan, you can even change the color temperature here for me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, warm me up here or add some cool temperature. You can't really do that easily with a reflector. The other cool thing, of course, is a reflector requires original light source, but I could take this out on a night shoot or something. It's just a really nice, handy, portable light pack. So if you're looking for a powerful little portable light kit like this, or maybe you want to add it to an existing light package, check out the Westcott L60B. You can also get this optional battery handle kit, really nice for portable power. Go to fjwestcott.com, or you can click the link in the description below and pick it up today. It's just really handy to have a kit like this to make your life easier. That's why they're PetaPixel's preferred lighting partner. Now let's get back to the Sigma flare results here on this lens. Sigma normally have very good coatings. I'm taking shots here, direct sunlight. We've got that dark area in the bottom left. You can see whether I'm shooting at f1.4 or stopped all the way down to f16, we're still getting good contrast. I'm not really seeing a washed out area anywhere, and we're not getting any ghosting. So this lens is absolutely handling flare beautifully. Oh, damn. That's actually a very nice Sunstar. You know, we haven't talked about Sunstars in quite a bit, but this actually has nice definition. The tines of the star are all quite clear, so yeah, pretty. Cityscapes, landscapes, I like the Sunstars. Now what about the Bokeh? Because, you know, I do like 35mm lenses when they have these fast, wider apertures, because I can get some separation from a close-up subject to a soft background, and I want that transition to look nice. First of all, let's take a look at the specular highlights here. We got Jordan standing up with some lights behind. You can see a nice, strong cat's eye effect, which when I first reviewed this lens didn't really love, but now I've come around on cat's eye and I like it. With the aperture stopped down as well, you can see we're still getting nice round specular highlights. There's no onion rings or anything, but there is a fairly strong soap bubble effect, which will give a bit of harshness. But what I'm finding today is my backgrounds are still going into a nice soft transition, not overly distracting. So I do like the bokeh on this lens. I actually did like the bokeh on the original lens as well for the most part. So smooth transitions, very important for me on this. You know, another real deficiency of the original 35mm f1.4 art was the breathing, and that's where, as you focus the lens from near to far and back again, you see the field of view change quite a bit. And if you're going to do video work, you want to do a focus pull or something, it's very distracting. So we're eager to test this out because Sigma says breathing way better on this lens, and they were right. As you can see here, minimal breathing actually. I mean, focusing from infinity to the closest range, like almost no change to the background. So this is a really big improvement for videographers. The original lens had an issue with LoCA, the longitudinal chromatic aberration, where you get the color fringing in the foreground and background out of focus areas, and it's really annoying and it's hard to get rid of in post. It just gives you all these color fringes on everything that's like out of focus. Is annoying. So is it better here? Quite a bit. I mean, you can see you're shooting wide open f1.4. I can see a little bit of that green magenta split, but it's far better and really not an issue to worry about. You know what else this lens does really good at f1.4? Deliver highly detailed, sharp images. You can see here in our test charts in the center, fantastic detail. Contrast is not bad. It gets a little bit better when you stop the lens down here to f2.8, but the sharpness is already there. And then what really impressed me is when we go to the corners, because that at 1.4, still really good detail. I was surprised by this. Most of the time lenses kind of let this go and you have to stop the lens down quite a bit, but as you can see here, f2.8 improves them, but I would happily shoot this whole lens at 1.4 pretty much anywhere in the frame. Well, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's another 35mm lens review, and I just love 35mm lenses. What a great focal length. And I mean, this lens is near perfect. It's really hard to fault it. It's like Sigma just went through, took every problem that the first version had and said, let's systematically correct it and make it lighter. And on top of that, this lens is just over $1,000 in cost, which is not bad. I mean, certainly an increase from the older version, but I think the benefits justify it. So who should get it? Well, so in L-mount, Sigma still continue to dominate. I mean, you could get the Panasonic 35mm 1.8, but it's nothing to really write home about. Viltrox makes a great 35mm f1.2 lab, but it hasn't quite come to L-mount yet. And again, it's quite a bit larger, quite a bit bulkier. So This makes a ton of sense. In Sony E-mount, it's basically the same story as when we played with the original 35mm art 1.4, in that the Sony G Master is an awesome lens, very good, optically fantastic, but very expensive. And the original 35mm 1.4 was substantially cheaper, and this is still substantially cheaper now, but this lens corrects all the issues. So now it's even more of a no-brainer. I would look at this before I would get the Sony G Master, unless I desperately needed more than 15 frames per second. And lastly, I think we need to compare this lens against its own sibling, the Sigma 35mm f1.2 art. Now, I didn't play with that, but Jordan did a fantastic comprehensive review on it. And like any lens where you push the envelope to f1.2, it does have some issues, like a little bit of softness at f1.2, some LoCA problems. Honestly, it's gonna be bigger, heavier, and more expensive than this. This is really the way to go. So leave your comments below, let us know what you think. There's a lot of competition for this lens, but I think it's still carved out a fantastic place for itself because it's just that good. Check out the PetaPixel podcast. I'm sure we'll be talking about this lens and comparing it to some of the others. It's on this exact same channel, or you can listen to it on all your favorite podcasting apps. And do consider supporting the channel with a PetaPixel.com membership. Tons of benefits, as you can see here, and it really helps us out with our special projects. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon with more on PetaPixel.